Hey guys, it's Justine. I'm sorry if you can hear my my dishwasher in the background. It is going, but I wanted to film this video really quick. Today, when I was doing my makeup, I kind of noticed that my eyebrow ring is starting to reject, or my body is starting to reject my eyebrow ring. And so I decided to film a video about all of my piercings and all of my tattoos, because I think I'm going to need to take my eyebrow ring out soon. I might even just take it out today just to kind of get it over with, which makes me really sad because I do love that piercing. But I'll get more into that at the end of the video. I'm just gonna start off and tell you about all of my tattoos and piercings in the order that I got them. So starting off, I have, let's see how close I can get to the camera. So first, I have my very first piercing. It's not focusing, which is just first lobe piercing. I got this when I was 5. I have like a very distinct memory of when I got this done. I was in Portland visiting my grandparents, and I was 5 years old, and I think my mom was pregnant. Wait, let me think. I was either 5 or 6 years old, and my mom was either pregnant with my youngest sister, or my youngest sister was like a little baby. But my parents took me to a piercing place. It wasn't like Claire's or anything. It was like, it looked like a jewelry store, like a Jared Jewelers or K Jewelers, where you just have the glass cases filled with jewelry. I went there, and I got my ears pierced at a place like that. And I don't even know if that's still a thing, if you can still get ear piercings at places like that. But yeah, so I went there, I got my ears pierced, I got them done with amethyst earrings. I remember I really wanted Mickey Mouse earrings, but they had like specific earrings you had to use when you first got your ears pierced, so I chose amethyst because it was my birthstone. And then me, my mom, and my dad all went to like a state fair or a county fair or some sort of fair afterwards, and they made it like special, and it was all about me. Either one or both of my sisters stayed with my grandparents, depending if my youngest sister was born yet or not. But it was just me and my parents, and they made like a big deal out of it, and it was really special. And that's like a big reason why I'm waiting to get my daughter's ears pierced, so that I can make like a big moment and she can have like a big memory and stuff about it. So that is my very first piercing. And then my very second piercing is just, I have 3 holes on my lobe and 2 on my cartilage on both sides. So my second piercing was the second piercing on my lobe. And that one I got done at Icing. I think it was actually, do you guys remember the store Afterthoughts? It was like by the same companies that did Claire's, but I think they eventually turned all of the Afterthoughts into Icings. So I think, so I actually got the second piercing done at Afterthoughts, now Icing. But I was 9 years old, and my sisters were like 6 and 4, and neither of them had their ears pierced, and so they both wanted to get their ears pierced. And so when we went to Afterthoughts, I got my ears pierced first, and I got my second lobe done to kind of show my sisters that, hey, it doesn't hurt that bad. And then my sisters both got their first ear piercings done, and I was so excited because I was the first one out of all my friends that had 2 piercings in their ear. Both of my first piercings were also done with a piercing gun, and I can still like tell the difference in how they've healed compared to how the rest of my piercings have healed. And the rest of my piercings I've gotten at like tattoo and piercing parlors with a needle, with someone who is trained to pierce ears. And I mean, just to sum it up, basically my 2 bottom lobe piercings get infected more than any of my other piercings. Like these 2 piercings down on my lobes, they get itchy, they get irritated, they get infected, and I honestly believe it's because they were done with a piercing gun instead of a needle. And so if you can, I highly suggest getting your ears pierced with a needle. Like if you have piercings done with both, like you can tell the difference. And but anyways, so my third piercing up here, third piercing on my lobe, it was done with a needle at a tattoo parlor, and I got that one done when I was 15, and I was so excited because it was like something different. At this time I had a lot of friends who had facial piercings and piercings up here on their cartilage, but I didn't have any friends who had like 3 lobe piercings and that was it. And so I liked it because it was kind of like unique, at least in my friend group. I feel like overall it's not like super unique though. And then next, when I was 17, I at the same tattoo parlor that I got my 3rd piercing out, I got 2 in my cartilage up here at the same time. So I had the earrings that I have in here are not the right size. So I got 4 holes in my cartilage all at the same time, and this was like my worst piercing experience because I almost passed out, and I think it's because I didn't drink water that day. And I remember the piercer did this ear first and he pierced both of those, and like all of a sudden, like I just felt dizzy and my hearing, people were talking to me and my hearing was feeling fuzzy. And so I told them, like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out, and my stepmom was with me and she had water, so I drank water and then I was fine. And then I got this side done. But yeah, these piercings have also kind of caused me a little bit of trouble because since I got them done on both sides at the same time, I could not sleep on my side. And I usually do sleep on my side. That's just usually how I sleep at night. And so they took quite a bit of time to heal just because I was always sleeping on them. Even if like I would start off sleeping on my back, in the middle of the night I would wake up and move to my side, and then I'd wake up in the morning and they would be so painful. So yeah, there's that. And then so I got those done when I was 17, and then when I was 18 I got my belly button pierced, and I was so excited. I had been wanting to get my belly button pierced pretty much like ever since I learned that belly button piercings were a thing. I was pregnant in high school, and I was pregnant when I turned 18 on my 18th birthday, so I had to wait until my son was born to actually get my belly button pierced. But when my son was 3 weeks old, I went in with my sister and I got it pierced, and it's still one of my favorite piercings. I'm not gonna stand up and show you guys. I'm too lazy. I actually don't even wear my belly ring a lot these days because my daughter likes to like climb up on me, and there's been a couple of times where she's like hit it with her foot and it hurts. So I don't wear it a whole lot these days, but whenever I'm like wearing like a crop top or a bathing suit or something that I would want to show off a belly ring, I'll usually put it in for that. And then, what was after that? Okay, and then when I was 19, I got my tattoos, and I have 2 tattoos. I have one on each ankle. On my left ankle, I have a moon. Here, I'll just go ahead and show you. On my left ankle, I have this moon, and on my right ankle, I have a sun. I don't have like a story behind why I got them. They don't represent anything, but my husband was going to get his first tattoo at the time, and I was going with him, and we were both gonna get our first tattoos. And his first tattoo was our son's footprints on his chest, but I wanted to just get something small and dainty, but I wanted to have more tattoos than him. So I decided to get a small sun and a small moon, so that way I could say that I have 2 tattoos and he only has 1, but I only got to say that for a short amount of time because now my husband has like a full sleeve and a bunch of other tattoos, and it doesn't even matter. But for a short period of time, I got to say that I have more tattoos than my husband, and I was very happy about that. So I basically only got them to be in competition with my husband. And then I got my nose pierced, and I got my nose pierced when I was 20, and I just got it because I liked it. I actually, when I was a freshman in college, so it's no secret that I have a pretty big nose. And when I was a freshman in college, there was this girl in my chemistry class. I remember this so vividly, but she was in my chemistry class, and she was this gorgeous girl, and she had a big nose. Like, her nose looked very similar to mine, and she had her nose pierced, and I was like, that looks so good. Like, I don't know what it was about it, but like it just looked really good. And I was like, and I always thought, you know, I shouldn't get my nose pierced because I have a big nose and it'll just draw attention to my nose, but on her it looked so good. And so like I kind of kept it in the back of my head for a couple years that eventually I wanted to get my nose pierced. So I was in New Mexico and my sister had actually just recently gotten her nose pierced, and so she took me to the place where she got hers done, and I went ahead and got mine done, and I didn't tell my husband about it. And I was gonna wait to see how long it took for him to notice, and it took him like several hours until he noticed it was pierced. And I think I even had to say something like, do you notice anything different about me? And he still was like, no, what are you talking about? So that's the story behind my nose ring. And now onto my eyebrow. So my eyebrow is my most recent piercing. I got it done this past December when I was 23. I'm 24 now. And my body is rejecting it, and this is the first piercing that I've ever had that my body's rejected. I kind of knew beforehand that this was a possibility because eyebrow rings are surface piercings, and your body is more likely to reject a surface piercing. And also I think eyebrow rings are like either the most or one of the most rejected piercings. So I got it back in December, and all of my piercings, every single one, has healed within like a few months. This one would not heal. It still to this day will like get pussy, and I know that's really disgusting, and I'll like wake up and there'll be little crusty crusts on it, and it's so gross. And so I've known for a long time that my body's probably gonna reject it because it's just not healing. And I was getting keloids on it. I don't think they're like technically called keloids, but everyone calls them keloids, and I was getting keloids, which are like little bumps of scar tissue. And I was putting tea tree oil on them, and the tea tree oil helped like so much. They went away like right away. But these past couple weeks I have been noticing that the skin itself around the piercing is getting a lot thicker because it's developing scar tissue. And then I've also noticed that the bar of the piercing is slowly starting to show more and more. Like when I first got it pierced, you could only see the balls, and like when I would take it out to clean it and stuff, it would be really hard for me to put the ball back on the piercing, so I would have to like kind of push one side in to see the bar. I don't know if that makes sense, but I would have to like push on it to see the bar so I could actually like screw the ball in. But now like you can see quite, not a ton of the bar, but there's enough that you can see that it's definitely changing, and like my body's trying to push it straight out. And then today when I was doing my makeup, I was plucking my eyebrows and trimming my eyebrows, you know, as I do before I did my makeup, and I noticed that right where my piercing is, I have a little bald spot right there in my eyebrow now that I didn't have before, and it's 100% because of scar tissue. And so I am going to go ahead and take out my eyebrow piercing because I don't want it to get so bad that like it's, you know, just dangling on a piece of skin because my body's trying to get rid of it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it out and let my body let it heal. And I'm really actually really sad about it because I do love this piercing. I like having like everything balanced on my body. So like I have, you know, the same number of piercings in each of my ears, I have a tattoo on each ankle, and then on my face it's like I have a nose ring on this side and an eyebrow ring on this side. So like in my head I'm like everything is balanced. It's not symmetrical, but it's like balanced. And so I'm kind of bummed that this is happening and I have to take it out. But yeah, and also I just really like my eyebrow piercing. I feel like nose piercings are so common now, but eyebrow piercings aren't as common, and it's kind of like that little bit that makes me feel like a badass, you know? So yeah, I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures today just to, you know, capture my last few moments with an eyebrow ring. But that is it for this video. Let me know about all of your tattoos and piercings, or if you have any like special stories behind them, down in the comments below. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.